Welcome to tonight's Ryco Performance Monday night top split action from the Iowa Speedway for the first time in the A Open cars, at least in real life, and we're matching what they're doing in real life, obviously, as we do week in, week out. I'm Austin Edstrom, standing alongside Sheldon Atkins, and also alongside Taylor Burst tonight in the production booth. And like I mentioned, we've got Iowa Speedway for the first time in the Cup Cars. A Open is going to be the first race on offer for us tonight. We got B Open a little bit later today. Sheldon, what do you think we're going to see here with the A car, the Cup car, taking on the Iowa Speedway?
Well, if it's anything like how it used to be back in the day with the B car, I'm pretty much going to call a absolute mad dash to get to the bottom in 1 and 2. Then by the time we get to 3 and 4, they're going to fan out 3, 4 wide through there because you have so many options in groove, especially in 3 and 4. 1 and 2, you got a little bit of an option, but I've always found the best way is down on the paint if you're trying to save tires for a long run. But that middle line can cook, but the outside line with that big old pothole up there, not going to work.
Yeah, turns 1 and 2 a little bit narrower, a little bumpier, so you got to be a little bit more careful through that corner. You're not necessarily just keeping your momentum as high as possible, just flinging it around the outside like you might do in 3 and 4, where it just seems like the racetrack widens out a lot. There's a lot of different grooves that you can run down in 3 and 4, and I mean, we're watching Garrett Maines going around right now. He's taking the bottom side on his qualifying lap, but last time going down to 3 and 4, just floating it into the top side of the racetrack. Crazy how much grip these cars make on the outside of this old worn-out racetrack. At least it is still on the sim. Unfortunately, they have butchered my boy in real life.
Oh, that's very unfortunate. No bumps, no character anymore, but I guess that's what they had to do to get the Cup car to go through there in real life.
Well, it's got character because they only repaved half the racetrack.
Yeah, and that's where everybody's going to go. You remember the grip strips at Pocono?
Yeah, it's going to be bad. They literally made it where you can only run on 2 lanes.
Yeah. Thanks, NASCAR.
Smart. Luckily, we have not completely destroyed this racetrack in the sim yet. So
Soon.
hopefully we have, probably. Hopefully we have plenty of time to get the race in tonight before they, update it midway through with a repave.
Yeah, but one thing you do have to be looking out for at this track too, and one thing we're going to keep our eyes on up here in the booth is 3 and 4 is kind of calamity corner. Since you got so many options for lanes and everything, people kind of send it in there thinking it's going to stick. One problem with the exit of 4, she wants to snap around on you no matter what you're doing. That corner will sneak up on you, it will creep up on you, and it'll ruin a lot of people's days here, especially early in this thing before people have a good feel for what they got under them.
It's going to get really tight between a couple guys coming off that corner too. Somebody wrapping the absolute outside, somebody trying to complete their slide job coming through 3 and 4. I think we're going to see some contact coming out of 4 tonight. We got 150 laps. I imagine a good couple of restarts. So I think a good bit of the action is going to be coming out of 4, like you mentioned. Should we go ahead and move to our broadcast picks though? Up first, myself, I'm picking Garrett Maines. I feel like it's kind of the obvious choice. He's just dominant, man. Week in, week out, Garrett has been phenomenal. Unfortunately, Sheldon just lost internet, I think. So, oh, he's back. He's back. So, Sheldon, you're back just in time for your pick. Well,
Sorry
his
about that.
microphone's not back. There it is. Okay,
Sorry
Sheldon,
about that. Little bit of a technical difficulty with the push to talk. I'll be fixing that here in a second. My pick tonight is going to be Jacob Schneider. He put on a really good little performance last Friday in Sonoma NIS. Wow, let me get my words back here. And I think he's going to be pretty good tonight. If you can get around that place as loose as it is, I'm pretty sure you can find your way around Iowa, no problem.
And as always, our producer is going to be a homer, and we're going with Justin Levine for our producer. So 3 Ryco cars from the broadcasters up here in the booth, kind of telling our hand, thinking or showing you guys the way that we think this thing's going to go. Conti did qualify it, a Conti car did qualify in the 4th place position. Patrick Gitter, he's about 0.2 of a second off of Garrett Maines, but to be fair, nobody is within 1.7 of Garrett Maines. So he's not the only one. Garrett put down an absolute heater of a lap. Everybody else is just kind of picking up the pieces.
Yeah, and I can't help myself to pick a Ryco car for this one too, because you remember what we saw at North Wilkesboro last time we were at a short track?
True, that's a good point. They were absolutely rapid. What, a 1 through 13?
Yeah, Pepperidge Farm remembers. Didn't look like a fun week for anybody else.
Yeah, that was a tough show for everybody else. Ryco loved that. And they're hoping to have a repeat here tonight from the Iowa Speedway. And we're going to run through our starting lineup as we're getting ready to pull off for the start of this race. Garrett Maines lining up on the pole with a 23.435. And like I said, nobody even close. Jacob Schneider lining up in second with a 23.594. Inside of the second row is going to be Cody Terlindi with Patrick Gitter starting to his outside in fourth. Trent Dinkle is going to be starting in the fifth place spot with Joshua Watson in sixth. Rob Carroll starts in seventh with Steve Buchanan on his outside in the fourth row. Joseph Squared is going to be starting in the ninth place spot with his teammate James Houghton on his outside, rounding out the top 10.
In 11th place, we got Yakov Kirsanov, followed by Sean Rogers. In 13th place, in 12th place, we have, oh my God, okay, I really need to catch my breath here, guys. Sorry about that. In 13th, we have Derek Heitman, followed by Jordan Booth. 15th place, we have Brian Farrington with Miller Bonds to his outside. In 17th place, we have Shane Davis with Justin Levine on his outside. Wonder how long it's going to be before he gets taken out. 19th, we have Mark DiCiani, and running out your top 20 is Jeremy Sumter.
21st is going to be Jeremy Knopf with Matt Cox in 22nd. 23rd is John Tiller. 24th, Keith Shoemate. And John Payson is going to round out the 25-car field all on his lonesome in row number 13. Hopefully not unlucky row number 13 for Payson tonight. Looking to have himself a decent night. And the field is starting to roll off of pit lane here. Garrett Maines leading the field out of pit lane with a pace car leading him just a little bit further ahead. Sheldon, what do you think? I don't even know if I've ever ran a Cup car at Iowa. I've definitely never seen a race at Iowa with a Cup car. I'm sure it's happened on iRacing, but I haven't seen it. So what do you think?
Personally, I haven't ran one here either, but I know how tricky this place is in the B car. And that's with a car with a really soft chassis, and you can build them to have a little bit of
This
roll
car's
and
edgier.
Get them in there without bouncing out of the track. And I know these Cup cars, they are as stiff as a board all the way through everywhere we go. And I think 1-2 is going to be a real treat for a lot of these guys that haven't put laps in. That's for sure.
Well, we're about to find out the pace car is about to pull off. Oh, just kidding. Are the lights not on the pace car? Okay, well, I saw the lights were not on, and I thought we had one to green. No, I'm just kidding, though. We've still got one more. Weird.
I just got bad news from somebody.
Oh no!
Pretty high up on the Ryco sheet there. Mr. Ryco himself says he wished the guys hadn't blown their laps. They had another half a tenth in it.
Oh boy!
That might be problematic for the rest of these fellas out here.
Are you surprised? Like you said, the North Wilkesboro stuff, right? It's just kind of repeating. But this is a harder. Well, I wouldn't really say this is a harder track than North Wilkesboro. It's faster, so it's edgier. So maybe you can make more mistakes on a qualifying lap. So maybe you don't get quite as much out of it as you were hoping.
Well, this is a very tricky track to put down a heater too, because of how edgy and how bumpy it is.
Yeah.
It is so easy to lose a tenth or two, just trying to be fast around here.
Well, this time the pace car is going to pull off, and we're going to get to go in here from the Iowa Speedway in the Ryco Performance Monday Night Top Split. Garrett Maines through the restart zone, and we are green, green, green.
I like the excitement.
I try sometimes. Just like Garrett Maines jumping out to the lead down into turns 1 and 2 on the inside, jumping about the outside, covering off his teammate Jacob Schneider, and they're filing through single file first, second, maybe side-by-side for third, coming down into turn number 3. Cody Terlindi looking to the inside of Gitter, but Gitter looks to have the momentum on exit of turn number 4. Now we're single file in the top 4, side-by-side for 5th.
Yeah, and it's such a hard thing on the bottom to really fight against that top line, especially on fresh tires, because you get so much momentum up there when it's gripped up.
Oh, Terlindi loose out of turn number 2. Stack up coming out of the corner. Just about caused a moment there with, I believe, Joshua Watson right behind him. Everybody able to file through, just about a little bit of contact. Watson almost receiving a punt through turn number 4. Didn't happen that time, and still the top 5 now single filed out. Top 7 just about until we see our first side-by-side battle with Steve Buchanan trying to get to the outside of Rob Carroll, and Joseph Squared, and James Houghton make contact out of 2, and Houghton finds the fence.
Is Houghton starting out aggressive again?
Well, he definitely rubbed doors with his teammate Joseph Squared on the inside. I don't know which one. I don't know if Joseph came up a little earlier or if Houghton pinched him, but they definitely make contact there.
No, I can't imagine Houghton being aggressive.
I can't either, man.
Or Joseph.
I've never seen it.
Either one of them, man. I just can't imagine that. That's news to me, brother.
I haven't seen Joseph be
he's going to send him in on the quarter panel and just about lose it.
I mean, was he inside of Houghton and Houghton just closed the door down back
Yeah,
straight away?
yeah. He sent that thing in about 3 car lengths deep, got to his quarter
Oh, did he?
panel.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
If he drove it in from that deep, then never mind. Yeah, he drove it in pretty deep. Yeah.
I'll
Watching it
give
back.
I'll give courtesy to Houghton on that one.
Yeah, that was it was trying to be a dive bomb. It was trying to what is it? The missile knows where it is because it knows where it isn't or something. Whatever the hell that. I don't know.
Another missile is EP apparently. But,
Somebody got loose out of turn number 4. Just about found the grass. Following or looking at Derek Heitman, following Justin Levine in a 3-wide battle coming out of turn 2. Heitman, I believe, was in a battle there with Miller Bonds also. Ends up winning out on that one. Levine stuck in the sandwich. A little bit of contact through 4. Does
all
Levine
over
clear
his
coming
door.
out of the corner? It looks like he does. Contact. Heitman just about loses it. He doesn't. Miller Bonds back to his outside down the straightaway.
Levine out here being aggressive. I like to see that. Go get it, brother.
I mean, I guess you got to, right? I mean, these next-gen cars, it's really, really different than anything, any of the Gen 6, the Xfinity. I guess the trucks are kind of similar nowadays, or used to be. I don't know about the new update, but you got to drive these things so hard. It's not all about tire saving. You still got to save them, but man, you got to throw these things into the corner nowadays, and it is just such a strange feeling. You got to use up people just as much as you're getting used up, because I feel like if you're not giving the bumper to somebody, you're getting the bumper.
Especially in this field. Because these guys
the top
are on
split
it
A open, absolutely.
These guys are on it from flag to flag. Like, this is some of the best racing you'll see on here and most aggressive at the same time.
Levine just gets his nose closed off. Looking out of the inside of Rogers down into 1 and 2. Rogers on the outside groove gets a better run out of the corner. A little bit of contact further back. Kursanov gets into Jeremy Sumpter, I believe. Sumpter loses a spot to Bonds, and now Bonds to the inside of Kursanov. Not able to get anything going. Levine still trying to pressure Rogers. Close coming out of turn number 4, but it doesn't look like it's going to be a cigar for Levine. Not able to dive it in deep enough into 1. I think Rogers just has enough momentum on that outside groove to hang on to that position.
Yeah, I'm curious to see how this is really going to play off for these guys that are defending so hard on the outside line. Here as we see Levine duck up here to the top now to try and get the move. I don't know if that momentum is really going to stick. It's going to. Yeah, he got pinched down the bottom. Here comes Levine on the top.
Ooh, Kursanov out of 4, got loose. Miller Bonds goes by. Levine able to get to the outside of Sean Rogers, trying to pick up that 12th place position. Jordan Booth routing the outside line right in front of him, giving Levine the dirty air. But Levine uses the momentum on the outside line to power past Rogers down into turn 3, and now to the outside of Booth. What in the world has just happened? No, I think the race just ended.
Yeah.
Race control scoring has ended, and I think all 3 of us just got that.
Yeah. iRacing just broke, guys.
What? What in the world?
Yeah, it just kicked me out, and I saw it kicked you out.
I'm thinking that it just kicked everybody. I really think that the race just ended.
That's a new one. Also, somebody wants to get dragged on down here.
Okay, well, we're gonna drag down Mr. Ryco, Ken himself, and give him a little talking to. Ken, what's going on, man?
I think the servers just all crashed.
Yeah, that's what we were. That's what we were kind of leaning towards. That's a little unfortunate.
We were like, oh yeah, like this is where the car's gonna start to pick up, and then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, everybody died.
I gotta say, I'm pretty upset because that race was interesting in the mid pack already. You can tell
killed
the front guys were saving tires.
all the races.
Every single one on the service. Holy.
The first B race just got kicked too.
Oh my word. Well, the update today was apparently not very good. Well, I don't really know what to do now that.
Yeah, I mean, no broadcast for A Open. You have to just wait to see if the B goes up. Yeah, we were in good shape there. That's
what I was about to say. I mean, y'all were quick. Y'all had the top. I mean, most of the top 7, 8 positions locked up, and we're just kind of riding. Levine himself was pushing through the pack, also getting into the top 10. Y'all clearly had a fast piece, even in traffic. But it was just kind of tire saving mode up at the front. But the mid pack was entertaining as hell to watch.
Yeah, it's gonna be tough to pass this week, but I think it'll be good racing. But I just wanted to let you guys know that's what happened.
Well, we appreciate you, and we'll
Yeah.
look forward to calling the B race later tonight, hopefully in its
Yep.
entirety.
All right, I'll talk to you guys later. See you.
All
Take care,
right,
Ken.
that was Ken Byron there for Ryco Performance, and we're gonna, I guess, step away, unfortunately, until we get the B open because the iRacing servers have crashed. Sometimes things just happen that are out of your control, and well, that's what has happened here tonight. Hopefully the B race goes a little bit better. Be sure to come back in about what 45. Sorry, is it 40 minutes? No, it's an hour and 10 minutes. I am dumb. It is at 10 p.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. Central Time. Be sure to come back, and we'll have some more racing action. Hopefully in the B Open's entirety. We'll see you then.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Welcome into tonight's Ryco Performance Monday night top split. I almost choked over my own words there, but we're back. We didn't get to have a first race tonight. Unfortunately, iRacing decided to poop its pants, but we're here for the second one. So we're hoping, our fingers are crossed that we're going to be able to stay in the session and everybody's going to be able to get to the checkered flag tonight. I'm Austin Edstrom, standing alongside Sheldon Atkins. Taylor Burris is behind the production booth here tonight for us. Sheldon, what do you think here? We're a little bit more used to the B car at the Iowa Speedway, right? I was going into the A Open asking you about, like, what do you expect from this this new beast? But you're pretty familiar with the B car at Iowa, so tell us what you think about it.
Yeah, I've got about 200 laps of practice in this week, so I think I know a thing or two. Thing number one, you can make a little bit of speed up there in the middle lane in 1 and 2, but the long haul move that you want to go with is you want to be running down on the paint in 1 and 2, kind of the same thing as a cup car. 3 and 4, like, per the average from what I said last race, you can pretty much run wherever you want to put it. The middle of the line's not going to have a whole lot of pull. Bottom line and the top are going to be the dominant ones. It's going to be really hard to pass. Coming out of 4, it is going to be really slick, especially if you're running the bottom. So that's going to be something we're going to look out for. You're going to see a lot of cars self-spinning out of 4.
We'll be sure to look forward to that. Seeing some tough action out of turn number 4 tonight. Gets really tight coming out of the corner, and multiple lanes just kind of converging up on the top. It gets pretty hairy on corner exit. We're going to look at our starting lineup here tonight. Starting up on the pole is actually going to be Philip Groner with a 24.020. On his outside is going to be Dylan Pettis in the number 5. Third place is going to be Andrew Payne. Fourth place will be Cruz Cadell. Lining up on the inside of row number 3 is going to be Charles Grant Jr. with Robert Warrens to his outside. Brandon Hawks is going to be starting in the 7th place spot with Johnny Avila to his outside in 8th. And Brandon Schmidt will line up in the 9th place position with Michael Bumgarner rounding out the top 10.
In 11th place, we got Timmy Paccioli, followed by Blair Wickett. 13th place, we're going to have Daryl Hahn with Dustin Montgomery to his outside. In 15th place, we're going to have Dustin Smith with Sean Rogers in 16th. 17th is going to be Ricky Udding. He's going to be followed by Chris Frost, Brandon Burkhart, Eddie Rose, and Tyler Gunter going to round your top 20.
Tyler Gunter is actually going to be starting in 21st with Jared Mogart in 22nd and Michael Allard in 23rd, all by himself on road number 12. Well, we know we got 2 laps of pace laps, so we got a lot of the hiccups out of the way, I would say, in that first race that ended up not being anywhere near a full race. And we're getting ready to have the main show, I suppose, coming up to you. 2 weeks in a row, we're only going to have the B Open. Kind of sad. But we're going to move into our broadcast picks. Up first myself, I'm picking the 3rd place qualifier, Andrew Payne. I think he's going to have a fast race tonight. Obviously has a good car. Starting in that 3rd place position, I think he's going to have a good opportunity to bring home the checker flag.
I'm about to go a little bit further back in the field, but I got a good, strong feeling about Dustin Montgomery. I've seen what he does in this week with the car. Start mid-back, he'll work his way to the line pretty fast, and then he'll become a big factor by the end of it if all works out.
And then it looks like our our producer has picked the 17 of Ricky Udding. Interesting pick. 17 of Ricky Udding starting in 17th place. Hopefully he's got a little bit better race set up under that thing than he had qualifying set up, and he can find himself towards the front of the field. A lot of different teams present here tonight. Team Conti, really good job in qualifying, starting in the front 4 spots. Not sure who Charles Grant Jr. is on, but Robert Warrens on his outside. Elliott Sadler eSports. Brandon Hawk repping Ryco Performance in the Ryco Performance Ford Mustang in the 7th place position. And while still a lot more teams a little bit further back.
Well, the one good thing about this car and this track combo is it's just going to come down to driver and line as opposed to where the cup car, you get that aero lock. These things you can get pretty close to the guy in front of you.
Yeah, you still have to fight the dirty air, but you can get to the rear bumper. There's a big difference. You just cannot get to the rear bumper very well in that A car. Here in the B car, you can get down to the corner. You can suck up next to somebody. You can find a way past. Looking forward to that all night long as the tire wear will be a huge factor in tonight's race. Philip Groner leading us down to the restart zone for the first time tonight. Getting ready to kick off the Ryco Performance Monday night B Open top split race. Down into the restart zone. Philip Groner is green.
Tell you what, I'm digging the excitement tonight. 2 in a row.
Keep that going.
You got to keep it going, man.
Well, Philip Brunner coming out of turn number 2, easily out to the race to lead his teammate Dylan Pettis on the outside. Gets the momentum to cycle into second place. So the front 2 single file cycling down into 3 and 4. Side-by-side battle between 2 Team Conti cars. Andrew Payne, Cruz Cadell side-by-side out of turn number 4 and flying down to turn 1.
Yeah, nice and easy up here at the front right now with these Team Conti cars. Not expecting a whole lot of aggression right now. This isn't really a track where you can get super aggressive early in the run and expect to be viable at the end of it.
Patience
big
is a virtue,
slide out of
especially at a
Cadell.
racetrack like this. Typically, the lighter color the racetrack, the more you have to save your tires. And you can just tell that this place has been sunbathed for a long time. It's worn out. It's old. It's going to chew up your tires pretty bad. And you just got to take care of them. You got to arc the corner, carry as much speed in, but not turn the wheel quite that much. Use the brake to kind of rotate the car in the center of the corner. Low brake bias might get you a couple hundredths of a second here, maybe a little bit more.
Yeah, we had
You just got to really focus about keeping that nose pointed.
big slide out of Andrew Payne coming out of turn 4 that last lap onto the front straightaway. And that's what I was talking about. You got to be looking for that because, you do that a couple times and you're pretty much going to be going backwards for the rest of the run because it's just so easy to overcook these tires here. And he's a little loose again on the bottom. It's just so hard to fight the guy on your outside here because they get so much momentum going down the straightaway. And all you can do is just, spray and pray with the throttle.
It's extremely difficult being pinched down on the bottom side of the racetrack, and you're trying to save tires at the same time. And so whenever you're just getting pinched down there, you want to take the spot, but you also just want to hold back and make sure that you have the longevity in the tires, especially this early. Oh, loose
Big
condition.
slide out of Avila.
Johnny Avila almost took out Andrew Payne coming out of turn number 4. He hung on to it, driving in deep on the outside is the 63.
Yeah, Avila's not worrying about saving tires right now. He's worried about going forward. He's honestly the first guy to really go out there and stick it up on the top and try to stay with it. Everybody else is ducking down in here to the bottom. And he's just
pushing.
Kind of committing to that Larson line up there. I don't think it's going to...
The benefit is the clean air, but the worst part is that you're carrying a whole lot more momentum. You've got to push it to keep that momentum down the front straightaway. And, well, you could just overstep it and get into the marbles up in turns 1 and 2 like you just did right there.
Yeah, it's also one of those things, too. It depends also on the balance of the car. The thing feels kind of snug here, I found, with the B car. You run up to the top, it'll kind of even you out, and you can kind of shift the balance of the car by running up there. Whereas if you go to the bottom, you're just going to be plowing the entire way. But, I don't know, I think it might be too early for him to be feeling that. But, he's behind the wheel. I'm up here talking about it.
Still good 2x2 battles throughout the field here towards the top 10. Kind of surprised to see still some fighting, I suppose, 8 laps in. I figured we would maybe single file out, see a lot more tire saving, not necessarily fighting each other so hard for these positions, but Avila around the outside is not really willing to sit still. He's passed a couple Conti cars, Dylan Pettis, Andrew Payne, both going backwards. They started in the top 3. They're both in 5th and 7th now as Avila has put both of them in the rearview mirror.
Yeah, well, I think those two, they've been running really tidy and snug on the bottom, not really sliding up, not making the car do too much more than it wants to do. I think that these guys right now are just kind of trying to save what they got. They know what this track is. They know how hard it is on the tires, and they're just kind of trying to ride it out for this part.
The difficulty of that is if that caution flag does fly at some point and everybody comes in and takes tires, well, you saving ends up meaning absolutely nothing. So it's just a little bit of a gamble, but in this early portion of the race, this is whenever you're supposed to do it, right? You've got plenty of time, 130 laps. Take the gamble now at the very beginning. Save the tires at the beginning. If you get that long green flag run going, man, you are going to be feeling nice around lap 40, lap 50, lap 60. You will be the quickest on the racetrack.
And there's also the thing, too, if you save tires right now, you can save a set, so to speak. You go out here and burn them up, you're going to be useless if we get that caution. But if we get a caution right now, you stand a chance of staying out here on a little bit older tires and kind of trying to make something happen later in the race.
I really wish that iRacing would let us have a set of scuffs. Like, save our best set of tires that have come off of our race car as a set of scuffs.
No, I absolutely do, too. That'd be
I hate that we just
amazing.
cannot... Like, we should be able to have something better because I hate running out of tires and knowing that I've got, like, a set of 12-lap scuffs that I could be using. Like, we're called iRacing, right? It's a sim, right? So we should we should really simulate the real races.
I think it's just something that would be kind of difficult for in the program, like adjustable track bars. We don't have that because, limitations in the sim itself.
That's fair. It's a fair point. It's just something I would love for them to figure out. I feel like that would be a very, very cool addition.
I'd love that and track bar adjustments. It's been on my wish list for years.
Philip Groner's still setting the pace up front, not really pushing the thing too hard. Robert Warren's done a good job getting from 6th to 3rd. Johnny Avila has done very well getting from 8th to 4th, but you worry that maybe he's pushed too hard, maybe he's going to start struggling at some point. Crossing the line to take lap number 15. You would probably expect him to start struggling in another 15 laps, I'd say. So really got to keep an eye on Johnny Avila to see if he's pushed those tires a little bit too hard in the early going.
Honestly, the way this place wears stuff out, I wouldn't be surprised if we see it a couple laps sooner than 15 from now. Because, like I said, I've done a little bit of testing this week, and this place has been really harsh on the tires, the right rear especially.
He is under fire right now from Charles Grant. Grant all over the back bumper into turn 1. Not really giving Avila much breathing space, and I don't think Avila's been able to hold the bottom side of the racetrack as well as he wants to. Last time through 3 and 4, he went all the way down to the bottom, but man, that front end, that nose was pushing up the racetrack the entire time. It was not settled whatsoever.
No, this is a really difficult place to find that balance. Like, one of the hardest on the regular schedule, from what I've noticed. Because you have two entirely different approaches, two entirely different corners, and then also the bumps are just drastically different.
Michael Bumgarner sliding through 3 and 4 on the inside of Avila. I mean, he really sent it down to the bottom of 3 and 4. Looked like he was going to let that thing rotate, but I think he might have gotten on the gas just a little bit too early, and he was in a little bit of a 4-tire drift up the racetrack, really letting that nose push up towards the wall, getting it really, really tight through 3 and 4. I thought we'd be seeing more loose conditions, not tight, but so far through 3 and 4, you can just see they're washing up the racetrack.
Dive. That was a big dive down into turn 3 there, Bumgarner.
He's done it twice in a row, man. He's going to be chewing up that right front.
And now he's going to try and stick his nose up here to the outside of Avila. Interested to see how this works. Avila's been staying to the top.
Looks like I thought he had
huge
the run.
run. He's got it. He's going to get him down here into 3. He's going to be able to slide him.
Look at that. A huge
slide
slider
job
coming through 3 and 4. Look at that from Bumgarner. What a move into the top 4.
Yeah, he's going to lose momentum here coming down the straightaway, but I don't think it's going to really matter because he's going to have the top line going into 1 and 2.
Yeah, he's got the preferred groove with the run out. I don't think Avila's going to be able to slide him into 1. He's not. And the 97 is going to have the momentum down the back straightaway. What a great move from Michael Bumgarner. Hopefully those tires are feeling okay.
I think he'll be all right. Give it a lap or 2 to cool him down. And 3 wide behind them.
Oh, they're fighting hard for that 5th place spot now. Avila, like you mentioned, I said it was going to be 15 laps. Well, it ended up being 5. He's just lost 3 positions in the drop of a hat.
Yeah, the closest thing to this place that I've found throughout the years is Rockingham, as far as tire degradation goes. And lines that you have to run, too, to kind of counteract that.
Well, Johnny Avila, he's figuring that out right now. I mean, he's been struggling. He's gotten back to the outside.
Ooh, big slide out of Grant there.
Oh, it's going to be tight coming to the line there. Avila has the spot for now. I don't think he's going to have it for long, though. He's been struggling so bad. Under pressure, going to lose another position here. Already dropped 3 spots. Looking to make it 4. Oh, into the fence out of 2. And it looks like Avila, he's got the preferred groove through 3 and 4, you would think, as long as he doesn't get split up. But he just does not have the ability to get on the gas anymore. And he drops another spot.
And if you stay on that bottom line, you commit to it, you'll just be... They can't really do anything to you if they run the top. If you stick to that bottom and the other guys around you are starting to flirt with different lines. Which is, I'm liking what I see out of Pettis right now.
Groner has moved up to the 2nd lane. He's just riding the left side tires right on that dashed white line, coming through 3 and 4 every single lap, down to 1 and 2, getting down to the bottom line, all the way down to the yellow line just about. So all the way down to the bottom in 1 and 2, and a little bit, or 1 lane up, coming through 3 and 4 so far seems to be the move.
Yeah, he might be finding a little bit of a tight condition right now. And I also think he's trying to mirror what's going on behind him. He's trying to keep that gap maintained to 2nd place.
Well, I think he's starting to pull away. He is putting down really good lap after really good lap. Somebody who's not, Johnny Avila, is continuing to just bleed positions. Back to 9th now. And, well, all these guys look really, really hungry behind him. I think he's going to be dropping another 5-6 positions here in a drop of a hat. And he might be 3 wide here coming out of turn number 4. I think he'll have the run and be okay, but he gets a little loose. Oh, that could have been huge coming off of 4. Avila hangs on to it. How long is he gonna hang on to 9th, though?
I think it's going to be too long. These guys, like you said, these guys behind him are pretty hungry, and they've been doing a pretty good job of saving their stuff. You know, Avila just went up, spent a lot of it. You know, the next guy I'm looking to see fall back would be Grant, honestly, because he's been up top a lot.
Oh, they're 3 again.
And you can see it, too. He's loose coming out of 4.
Looks like he's got the run this time on Avila. Dustin Montgomery to the inside, trying to take the position. Avila way, way, way out to the outside. Oh, the 19 almost gets to the right record panel of the 14. But it looks like Montgomery's going to be able to sweep on through here. I think this is going to be an easy pass for Montgomery now that he's gotten side by side. Oh, a little bit of door contact right behind him. These guys all fighting over the same little bit of real estate. Avila gets a little tight coming out of the corner, but still has the run. I thought Montgomery would get that one done, but it is a huge stack up from 9th on back.
Oh, man, they are running tight back there right now, too.
There's nothing between them. Coming off of turn number 2, 3 rows deep, 2 by 2.
Oh,
Who's
contact between the 4 and the 19.
Who's
19 just got shot up the lane.
First, these guys making contact all over the place.
3 wide behind them.
Wide, coming down into turn number 1. Deep down on the brakes by the number 4, Brandon Schmidt, all the way to the inside. The 19 trying to get to the outside of Dustin Montgomery. 3 wide coming out of turn 2, further back. Nobody, I mean, this is all because Avila is getting holding all these guys up on old tires. Montgomery can't get by. The 19 of Blair Wickett cannot get by, and it has just stacked them up 3 wide again, coming out of 4. Nothing between them. Oh, the 4 sideways, getting into turn 1, holds on to it. Jared Mogard way to the outside, trying to use the momentum. It looks like Mogard's going to clear them both, take the spots. Blair Wickett now the next one to challenge Johnny Avila, trying to get by those old tires.
Hold my breath right now. This is a tricky place to be running 3 wide at.
Well, Avila's still struggling, but able to hang on because of that outside groove. As the tires wear, the outside becomes that defensive line. It's just a little bit easier to hold off as the guys on the inside just don't have the grip to rip it past you. And, well, I guess everybody else has gotten to the point where Avila's able to hang on because he has hung on to this 9th place position for a handful of laps over multiple challengers. It's let a couple other guys kind of come into the fray, but, hey, as long as Avila stays in 9th, I don't think he minds.
I think Avila caught the wall a little bit there or got loose. Hard to tell from the angle I'm looking at right now, but he's pulling that Newman technique right now, and that doesn't last for too long before people start to get frustrated with it, especially on a short track like this.
Yeah, you open yourself up to getting a little bit of door contact and nudged up the hill into 1, I'd say. But so far, it's been clean. Avila a little loose that time.
I mean,
this is the best chance Blair's had. He's got a little bit of room. Avila gets loose in the middle of the corner, trying to get the gas into it just to stay to the right rear.
Oh, Wickett,
he does it as Blair Wickett gets loose.
The old hospital hop, as Marlon used to call it.
Oh my gosh, what's it going to take to pass Johnny Avila?
A more aggressive driver. No disrespect to Wickett, but he's really clean cutting most of this.
Avila got the fence again. What can Blair do? Can he just power on through? Down on the inside. Avila a little bit higher this time than he had been. Blair Wickett can't do it. Can't complete the pass. He might have been clear for a moment. Didn't pull up. Didn't take the spot, but down into 1.
I think he's going to get it here. No,
he was just about clear.
God.
Avila
send it,
is
Blair.
still to the outside. Blair cannot get the pass done.
He's just not sending it hard enough in, man. You can send in there and pull a slider. I don't know. Blair's not wanting to do it, I guess.
He doesn't want to take him out, but man, you're going to wear out your own tires and you're going to get passed by this whole freight train of cars here in just a moment. You're stuck down on the bottom side of the racetrack. You got 4 of them queued up on the outside, ready to go right by you as soon as those tires fall off.
Right now, you're seeing a lot of patience, too, out of the 14 machine and Dustin Montgomery.
Ooh, could this be it? Avila got a little bit higher. Blair still not able to find it, man. Oh,
Yes.
my word.
Because I can tell you, anybody else in this field would be throwing it 3 down the middle on both of these guys and running.
This has been a heck of a battle for the 9th place spot for the last 10, 15 laps. Avila has just hung on and hung on and hung on. Wore out the tires a little bit too much too early, but has utilized that or used that high line to his advantage. Blair Wickett starting to get a little bit higher through 3 and 4. Not really working out for him too well. Gets a little bit better of a run down the front straightaway, but the side draft that he puts on Avila gets nullified by the side draft that Montgomery puts on him.
Oh. About dead even with the runs coming out of turn 2. It's so hard to pass here. And here comes Montgomery pushing it down the middle here.
This could cause a little bit of mayhem. 3 wide. Blair
Wickett's
Wickett
going back.
comes
Oh,
up,
no.
and Blair Wickett gets turned into Johnny Avila into the outside fence. Contact with Schmidt into 20 a little bit further back. Dustin Montgomery made it 3 wide. Blair Wickett was having none of it. Came up across the racetrack, and I mean, it was just barely 3 wide, but it was 3.
I don't want to throw any shade at Wickett. I don't think it was so much that he was trying to stop it from happening. I think it was just a case of Wickett got loose coming out of 4 because it is so hard because you get both tight and loose at the same time coming out of 4. I know that sounds weird, but depending on how you approach it,
I don't know.
It's just really easy to slide up a half lane. And
it didn't really look too loose, but I don't know. It was tight between them, but I mean, ultimately, that's what happens whenever you have tight race and somebody holding up somebody for lap after lap after lap. Eventually, somebody's patience runs thin, and we get a little bit of an accident. And I think that's what happened in that case.
We see on board from Wickett by chance, Mr. Burris.
Mr. Taylor.
Also, we're gonna need your bullets here at some point.
I need Burris's bullets to pull up a replay of an in-car camera right here, please.
Need my bullets.
Thank you very much. Thank you. That's not an in-car cami. I'm just giving you a hard time, buddy. There's an in-car camera, a little bit too late, but you know it's still there.
Back to Fox.
I thought we were done with them for the year.
Speaking of Fox, I think.
Oh man, what the hell?
I think we're getting close to a commercial break, ain't we?
It's not working. It's not working.
And we'd like to thank our cameraman for the 18th time today.
We never got the Blair Wickett in-car camera.
8 to go. Let's have Kevin Harvick's happy hour. Do a 1.5-minute segment. Oh, we had a speeder.
Yep, Dustin Smith, the 16, getting a speeding penalty.
I don't know. I guess he just thought he was clear.
I think he just moved up a little bit, thinking he was still too wide. I don't think he thought he was 3 yet.
It was a late fade. It's a shame, but I mean, that's, that's what happens when you get caught racing somebody like that. Eventually, somebody's going to get tired of running behind the two of y'all trying to figure it out and decide that they want to go for it.
And look, whenever you make it 3 wide like that in the middle, like Montgomery did, you take a little bit of the blame just because it's such a late move. You've barely got any type of overlap. Do you really expect that guy on the bottom to know you're there coming off the corner like that whenever he's already too wide? So it's you're putting them in a tough spot. You're definitely putting them in a very, very tough spot. But Montgomery was tired of waiting, man. He'd been hung up behind those guys fighting for lap after lap after lap. They were losing so much time to the leaders. At some point, the patience is just going to run out.
Yeah, and also at the same time, like I said earlier too, if it was anybody else in the field, they would have pushed it 3 a lot sooner than that. So I know I would have. get tired of running behind people that can't pass each other. It's terrible.
Getting ready to come to the first restart of the night, ending the first caution period that we've had so far. Plenty clean first 40 laps in the B Open race tonight. In the Ryco Performance Monday Night Top Split B Open, the only race that we're getting to broadcast tonight. Philip Groner leading us back down to the restart zone. He's back to the gas and back to the green flag.
Good, clean start as they run double file back behind him, running into turn 1 here. Nobody really giving an inch right now. And here comes the 55 to the top.
Groner was pretty slow on exit. Gave Bumgarner an opportunity there on the bottom. Bumgarner almost got to his back bumper. Groner pushing a little bit more, trying to hang on to the lead as Cruz Cadell almost gets to his outside. So far, it's an Alcanti show up at the front.
Yeah, they got this thing on lock right now.
Side by side for the seventh place position, I believe. Grant to the outside. Trying to get to the outside of Pettis for 6th, but he's really stuck in a side-by-side battle with Dustin Montgomery right now for 8th. Montgomery still to the inside, not able to take it. He files back in line, and a move from behind. Robert Warrens looks to his inside, coming through turns 3 and 4. Dustin Montgomery now on the defense, on the outside groove, trying to hang on to that 8th place spot.
Now, here's a weird thing, right? Like, I've been talking about how bad the top line kills off those tires. Somehow that last run, Grant running as aggressive as he was up there, still made it work. He was still up around the top 5 after running pretty much the wall the entire first half of the race.
Well, you can run the wall in a slower manner, right? Like you can back it down a little bit and still get the advantage of running the outside groove of getting that run down the straightaway and running good lap times. But I feel like it's normally more detrimental. But I don't know. Through 3 and 4 at Iowa, I feel like it's a pretty unique corner, something you don't really get at any other racetrack. So I think it kind of presents some different opportunities that you wouldn't really get anywhere else.
Well, he was cooking up there for sure, that whole first run.
Well, he was able to hang on to it, but obviously the guy that was not was Johnny Avila. I mean, he did the same thing, but he plummeted.
Yeah, but he was so aggressive when he went up there at the start.
That's true.
He went out there on the coldest tires, full send, throttle down, banging the chip going down the straightaway.
Yeah, he pushed the heck out of his. So that's a good point. But we'll have to wait and see if anybody else can utilize that high line like Grant has been able to do in the early going and not completely abuse the tires. Still stay up towards the top 5. Side-by-side battle for the 8th place spot. Robert Warren's on the outside. Dylan Pettis looking to his inside, trying to take the spot. Side drafting down the front straightaway, not really getting any type of momentum. Pettis on the inside, trying to get there, trying to take that spot, getting to the top 8. Not able to do it with Warren's with the momentum on the outside.
Yeah, here's the thing about that I noticed that last run with Pettis. He goes down here on the bottom, and it looks like he's down a cylinder the first half of this stint. But he is flying on the back half of the run because he was carving through him that last stint.
Did he have a bad pit stop that put him a little bit further back?
No, he's just dropped a couple spots here on the restart.
Okay. Then we'll have to wait and see. Hopefully for him, he gets another long run.
Yeah, he's deep into the tire saving strategy, it seems, which seems like it really worked for him on that last one. So
we'll have to wait and see. He is running pretty defensive. Mogard to his outside, trying to take his spot again. I mean, you're definitely nailing it on the head right now. Pettis is bleeding positions, but if that caution flag stays away, if the green flag stays out, it's going to come to his benefit later on. He'll drive himself up into the top 5, and if he saves good enough, he could drive himself all the way up to the lead.
I don't know about the lead because I think Groner's got this thing on lock right now.
Groner's quick, man. Groner's got it figured out.
I want to check that thing for jet fuel after this one.
I think Cruz is pushing him a little bit harder than he had been pushed in the last run, though. So he could be hurting his tires just a little bit more to ensure that he sets the pace. And that could be something that could help out Pettis if this thing runs green to the end.
Quite likely. Plus, also, if this thing goes green long enough, lap traffic, that can be a huge factor here.
That's a good point. Very good point.
How many times have you not been running one of these things and come up on a lap car and they spin right in front of us while we're leading?
Oh, dude.
I just love to be open.
I feel like it happens to be open more than any other session too, or any other series. It's a be open specific thing.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
Pretty single filed out so far. So as the field is single filed out, we're going to use this opportunity to take our first commercial break of the racing action. Be sure to stick with us. We got the last 60, 70 or so laps, I suppose, coming at you live on the other side of the break.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Welcome back to the Ryco Performance Monday Night Top Split B Open. At Ryco Performance, we're more than a setup shop. We're a performance provider, preparing you weekly with data and setups to get you ahead of the curve of the competition. Whether you're a seasoned sim racer or a weekend warrior, our cutting-edge data packs and one-on-one coaching sessions are tailor-made to push the limits of yourself and your virtual race car, giving you the winning edge that you crave. Why should you choose Ryco? Well, we have expert craftsmanship by a team of seasoned builders, cutting-edge performance enhancements tailored to your vehicle, and unrivaled coaching and reliability to handle the most demanding circuits on the iRacing platform. For more information, visit us at ryco-motorsports.com, where we build champions and deliver results. Big thank you to Ryco Performance for sponsoring the Ryco Performance Monday Night Top Split every single Monday night and Friday night, week in and week out, all year here on iRacing, allowing us to come out and give these broadcasts to you great folks every single week. Right now, we got Philip Groner leading the way. Cruz Cadell is not really letting them get away too much. Still only 0.3 of a second back. The top three just about under a blanket. And we were talking about Dylan Pettis earlier, saving tires heavy. He's dropped all the way back to 3.2 seconds off the race lead, down in 10th.
Yeah, I don't think he's really so concerned about, getting back up to the race lead right now. I really think he's just worrying about getting through these cars that are in front of him here as this run goes on. You see a lot of guys in front of him here running the top and kind of burning the stuff off potentially, and he's just committed to run that low line. I think it'll pay off for him. Right now, what's crazy is how many close bows we had that last stint right now, and everybody's just single filed out for this one.
I think everybody's single filed out because they can make it on gas, and they're saving tires. I think most of the field is saving heavier than they did at the beginning. How many laps can you make it on gas, Sheldon, since you've ran so many practice laps here?
I believe it was like 70-something. I'm pretty sure.
And
Do not quote me. I feel like it was like 75 or something like that.
75.
But do not quote me.
Well, we pitted with 87 to go, so maybe not. Could be incorrect. I don't know.
I could be.
Either way,
There
might be some. I'm sure there's some strategy coming into this while we're all single filed out. I am very surprised that it's a little less racy than it was beforehand. That first run, I mean, we had that heavy battle for the ninth place spot. So far, it's been pretty mellow in the second run.
I mean, regardless of fuel mileage, you're still gonna have to pit. You're still gonna come down and fire on tires because the fall off is pretty drastic.
I don't know about that. There's too much time loss in pit road here. Way too much.
I don't know. I'd want to pit. But at the same time, it'd still be erring for the side of there being a caution. Because once you get, 35, 40 laps on these tires here, that right rear, it doesn't matter how snug your setup is, you're going to end up wanting to snap off a 4, and somebody's going to push that button just a little too far. So we got a battle heating up right now between Pacioli and Michael Bumgarner right now for P4.
And we are starting to get to that point in the run where certain cars start having their tires fall off a little bit more. The guys that pushed a little bit harder start to fall off at about this point. We're getting to about lap, 28 of this run, I believe, right now, 27, 28. So we're getting to that tire fall off point that we started to see at the end of last run.
Yep. Oh, Bumgarner trying to kind of pinch off the top there so Pacioli can't get by him. Trying to throw a little bit of dirty air down and keep him from getting that run.
Bumgarner hanging on to the position, currently running in fourth. But Pacioli trying to take fifth place away from him. Having a hard time doing it. It's not an easy place to pass.
No, not at all. But I do like what Timmy's doing right now, running up on that top middle line right now, trying to get that momentum off the corner, trying to get that nose up to the quarter panel. Smart moves. Just so hard to do, especially with somebody with as much talent as Baumgartner. He's pretty good at driving through his mirror.
Pacioli now firmly behind the back bumper down through 1 and 2, dives it in deep into 3, trying to get everything he can.
This is gonna be what gets it for him too. Look, he got a really good run.
He pushed too tight through the center of the corner because he drove it in so deep, wasn't able to continue the momentum. He still had the momentum over him. It just wasn't enough to get to the outside. Here through 1 and 2, tries it again. Once again, though, runs out of racetrack, not able to do it.
Right now, he's not going to really have the option. Bumgarner's taking the top from him here in 3 and 4. He's going to fade the left front down a little bit, try to get a little bit of clean air on that nose.
Man, Bumgarner's bouncing down here, man. His left front on that bottom side is just bounce, bounce, bounce over and over down on the front straight, or down in the bottom of 1 and 2. Those bumps down there are no joke, man. If you got your car set up wrong, you are going to be in for a world of hurt down there.
Yeah, and there's nothing you can really do to get over that too. Like there's no real change in the garage settings that can really get you over those bumps without knocking the front end off the car just about every lap.
I know, man.
It's just a matter of how well you can work with it behind the wheel as to how fast you're going to be here on the bottom.
It's going to feel bad, but it's just whether it's just, at best, your setup is going to make it feel bad. At worst, it's going to feel absolutely like hell. I mean,
Yeah, if you're missing a pack or shim or two on that right front, you're gonna basically just want to alt F4 as soon as you go in there the first time.
I got to be honest. I'm very impressed with Cruz Cadell, Andrew Payne holding tight with Groner so far, but Payne's looking to the inside, trying to take the spot away from Cadell, and he does
And
it
Payne's gonna
easily.
get it.
Cadell gives it to him.
Yeah, I think Cadell maybe burned up a little bit of his stuff trying to keep up with Groner here at the beginning. Payne, teammate, better run right now. See if he can get up to him a little quicker and give Groner a little something to burn his tires off with, and maybe look out and get by both of them at the same time. Good little team strat there.
Yeah, Payne trying to now run him down. Payne, I guess, has saved his stuff pretty well, able to get to the inside of Cadell, able to make the move done. Obviously, giving it to him since they're teammates, but Payne's done a really good job hanging on to his stuff this run, and he's running about the same lap times as Philip Groner up ahead of him.
Payne actually 5 1,000ths faster that last lap while he was passing.
Well,
So.
that would be about the same lap. I mean, that is as close as it comes, buddy.
Oh yeah, I know. I'm being facetious, okay?
I mean, they're just about running identical lap times. I mean, they are very, very equal. So you never know whose tires fall off first.
Payne is ever so slightly quicker though.
He was 4 1,000ths that time.
Yeah, there we go. He's
What in the
flying,
world?
man. Dialed in.
Look at that. If it's 3 this time, I will lose my mind. I want you to know.
Faster than Xfinity Internet right now.
Oh, that was 4,000 or 400s that time. So Payne's starting to reel him in a little bit more. I hate you for saying the Xfinity Internet thing, by the way.
You're welcome.
I can't stand hearing that after the Xfinity races.
Neither can I.
That is one of my biggest pet peeves right now. Man, my car is just as fast as Xfinity 10G Internet today, man. I don't know really what to tell you.
Groner picked it up that lap though. Almost a 10th quicker. Oh, hang on. Is that Pettis working his way back up here?
Oh no, he's up to 8th.
He's up to 8th. Gonna fly by that ESC machine.
See, this time Pettis making a move, ran a 25.771. Our race a leader ran a 25.746. So our leader was faster, but Pettis made a pass.
Yeah.
And he's about to make another one, looking to take 7th away from Charles Grant Jr. down into turn 3.
I don't think it's gonna be much contest here from Grant. Maybe fight back here in 3 and 4, but 1 and 2, it's gonna be an entirely different ballpark.
We're now 40 laps into the run, same amount of time as our last run. The tires starting to go, and Pettis starting to come alive. He gets chewed up in the early going, but man, he takes it all back and more as soon as we get to that lap 35-40 mark.
It is a good feeling to be this late in the run and be able to make moves like that and work your way through the field. It's a huge confidence boost.
He was faster than the leader, and he was side by side with somebody that whole last lap.
Yeah, like I said, Pettis he's cooking right now. He knows what he needs to do to keep them tires on it for the late half of a run. And if this does happen to go, green flag here. Oh, big bobble out of 2, but I think he'll get it back.
Yeah, I'm very interested in his progression. Obviously, a battle right behind him too. Charles Grant Jr., Robert Warren's getting suckered into a battle because of Pettis coming through. It's kind of opened up the door, allows Warren's to get through on Charles Grant Jr. So Warren's taking the 8th place spot back after losing it to Pettis, as Pettis has moved all the way up to 7th, and Grant back to 9th. Next one on the chopping block for Dylan Pettis. It's going to be Dustin Montgomery.
Yeah, 694 out of your leader there. Pettis just a little bit off.
Wow, that's incredible from Groner. 694 at this point in the run? Holy shit.
Dog.
Groner still pulling away. 25.773 last lap. A little bit slower than what he had run the last time by, but still putting in lap time after lap time faster than just about anybody in the field.
Tell you what, watching these guys up front makes me realize I need to go back and do a little bit more homework on my own set this week.
You think you need to put in another 200 laps?
Probably. You get to a point where you think you got it figured out, and these guys come out here and show you that you haven't.
Still 40 laps left in this one. We've ran, what, 50, just about 50 laps on this set of tires, 48. So these guys have to extend it another 38
Here comes Spain.
laps.
Here comes Spain up to P2. Oh, never mind. My eyes jumped. Sorry, that is Bumgarner up to P2.
Yeah, okay, Bumgarner's starting to fly. He ran a 25.7 last time by. That was a whole 10th faster than Philip Groner.
Yeah, and he's been kind of doing the same thing that we've been highlighting with Pettis, too. I just, for whatever reason, forgot to mention it.
Bumgarner, he made it past that lap. He was faster again. Here's Bumgarner making the move down to the inside of his teammate. That's for the P2 spot. Teammate gives it up to him. Not really fighting him too hard.
And that's where these guys are really working well together, too. Like, you can tell that these guys kind of have it clicked in together. You know, you see a lot of teams, and they just kind of race each other's doors off. And you see these guys out here, they're just kind of giving and taking. They know that once these tires are wearing out, they're just hurting themselves if they keep trying to race each other.
I think if Bumgarner gets to Groner, they'll race a little bit harder than what we've been seeing them race for second, though.
Oh, for P1, absolutely. But, you know, second, third, fourth, fifth, you know, it's just a spot.
Just the first, second, third, and fourth loser.
Exactly. Right now, Bumgarner's going to find his way around this 18 machine, though.
Yeah, kind of slowing it up a little bit. Groner last time by 8.14 to Michael Bumgarner's 7.37.
18's going to run the top. I don't think he's going to try and fight back too hard. He's going to let Bumgarner get by him here for P2. Get by him to get... yeah, my words. Y'all pay me for this? That's wild.
These guys are just swapping between running 25.7s and 25.8s over and over and over again. Nobody really able to run the perfect, consistent lap time. Dylan Pettis starting to struggle a little bit further back, too, trying to get past these guys. His progress is kind of stalled at the sixth place spot, trying to get past Timmy Pacioli. Pacioli all the way up to the wall. I haven't really been seeing people use the very outside groove. You typically run the very skinny strip, just one lane off. Pacioli going all the way to the fence in 3 and 4 that time, hanging onto the spot, still on the outside of Pettis. That's the problem for Dylan Pettis. He saves really well at the beginning, but you lose so many spots that you got to take them all back. It hurts your tires, but that helps. Pacioli into the fence, helps Pettis out a ton, gives him the position, and moves Pettis into the top 5.
Yeah, there's not going to be much fighting back for Pacioli after that hit. Not right now, anyway. Got to let them tires cool off. Get back to it.
Groner's found a little bit more pace as well, coming close to 30 laps to go. So we're going to take our second commercial break of the evening. This will be our final of the racing action. Be sure to stay with us. We got the final 25 laps coming to you commercial free after the break.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Welcome back to the Ryco Performance Monday Night Top Split B Open action here from the Iowa Speedway. Philip Groner, Michael Baumgartner, 1 lap ago ran the exact same lap times. These guys are matching each other. It was just 0.02 of a second between them last time by. Still 25 laps to go. Baumgartner is right there, just 0.7 of a second back off of his teammate's bumper.
Also, look who's crept his way up here into P5, just right off the rear bumper of Cruz Cadell. Oh, Dylan Pettis.
We talked about him.
Running 7s right now.
Yeah, he's running the same lap times as the leader. The leader's just about a little bit slower, but you know, it's just a little bit too far back here for Pettis at this point. I don't think that he's going to be able to quite run them down. Now, Cadell is definitely on the radar, and perhaps he could get to Andrew Payne for a podium finish by the end of this thing.
I think if he keeps doing what he's doing, I think he might get himself a nice little P3 out of this deal. Looking good. Oh. Zanelli just came over, said they're wrecking Chris Frost in the 21. And he is.
Yeah, car just about stopped on the inside of turn number 3, able to get it straight. Keep it going. Oh my goodness, that replay scared the crap out of me for some reason. Wow, he didn't get a yellow. That's insane.
He did a great job of bringing that thing back down to the apron to keep that caution from coming out.
I think he was trying to bring a caution out.
Let's wind it back a little bit. Let's see how it came out of turn 2.
Well, that was so far down the straightaway. I mean, there's no way that was not intentional.
No.
Okay, well, never mind.
That's how loose we are here, man.
My word.
Now, if he was trying to keep it, he would have locked the brakes right there going into 3. He'd chase that thing back down. I'd probably threw the thing in reverse to keep it down on the bottom.
I can't believe we didn't get a yellow for that, even with those guys coming by. I know he was straight, but he was still stationary on the bottom line.
Right now, Baumgartner has reeled that leader in.
It's under 5 tenths.
It's under 4 tenths now.
Well, it's climbing back up as they go through 1 and 2. I think he's struggling with the dirty air at the same time. Trying to find a little bit more space here in 3 and 4, all the way out to the wall. Trying to find that clean air, trying to find the momentum. It's just very tough. You lose so much through the corner. Can you make it all back down this short straightaway?
Seeming to do a pretty decent job of it.
He's definitely quick, and if he had the clean air, maybe he'd be a little bit quicker than Baumgartner consistently. But, oh, that's a little bit too much in 3 and 4. No, it's not. Keeps it out of the fence. I thought he was fencing that thing for sure. Oh, my word. He drove it in there so deep into turn number 3.
He's running the top in 1 and 2 as well.
Well, he's doing this late apex, kind of getting it down, but on entry, he's keeping it very, very high.
No, that late apex down 1 and 2, depending on how well you can hit that consistently without burning your stuff off, is a pretty fast way to get down that back straightaway.
I mean, he's making up a little bit of time. It's just, it's not a lot. He was a thousandth of a second slower that time.
Well, he's brought it down to 3/10 now.
He's going to need a mistake out of Groner.
You keep putting the flame to him like that, you're liable to get it. He shifts down to the middle here, trying to mirror what Groner's doing.
I think it's just going to be too little too late here for Michael Bumgarner. Started in the 10th place spot, though, climbing all the way up to second, running identical lap times as his teammate, the race leader, Philip Groner. I got to say, it's still extremely impressive from Bumgarner tonight so far.
Yeah, Bumgarner has chased him down from pretty far back, too. So he was a couple seconds back, just, saving the tires and minding his business, and he's worked his way up here to a really impressive run. A really difficult track to make moves like that.
I think those tires are starting to hurt him. I think that he pushed them for a couple laps, and they're starting to fade on that number 11. He's starting to hurt a little bit.
If he kind of mellows out and tries to cool them off now, he might be able to get another shot at it. But I mean, Groner has just been so good from the beginning of this thing onward. I don't think there's much that he can do right now.
Extremely consistent the entire night. Philip Groner hasn't really put a wheel wrong. Pettis hasn't been able to get up to the back bumper of Cruz Cadell. So it looks like, I feel like our top 5 is pretty solidified unless a caution comes out. Conti's doing a heck of a job here tonight so far, locking down the top 5 spots.
Yeah, they've been flying tonight, that's for sure.
Dustin Montgomery back in 7th, having himself a good night as well, hanging on, like I said, to the 7th place spot. Him and Dustin Smith, one position ahead of him. Both started 14th and 15th respectively, running in the 7th and 6th place positions. So a good night coming through the field, getting good top 10 finishes if this thing finishes out the same way they're running right now.
So we're getting long green flag runs on a short track, man. That's
love it, don't you?
Something to be proud of.
Ooh, Charles Grant had a terrible exit at turn number 4. He got slid. The 46, I believe it was Jared Mogard.
No, Mogard's in the double zero. Oh, we got contact. 46 up in the wall. Huge crash on the back straightaway. Mogard around.
Oh, the yellow flag's going to fly. That changes everything coming to the end of this thing. What's the strategy going to be? Do you take 2? Do you take 4? I mean, so many laps on the tires. You got to take 4, right?
You take 4. If you take 2, you're going around coming out of 2.
Oh. Here it is. The 46 here. He was involved in the one that came out of 4 just a moment ago.
Mogard just slid up.
Out of the corner. Oh.
I think that he thought he could clear him, and it was just too close.
It was too close.
Terrible way to end this thing off for both of them. Such a shame, too, because they were both having some pretty solid runs there.
Yeah, Mogard definitely drifted up the racetrack coming out of 2 just a little bit too much, and Eddie Rose really had nowhere to go. He had the momentum, had the line. Oh, well, Eddie Rose is apologizing for it, but I really don't think it was his fault. And then Mogard took it. So that's you know what? I always love that whenever I hear that on iRacing, both people taking fault or taking blame for the incident. It's very rare. Typically, it's a lot of finger pointing. It's nice whenever both guys just kind of like, oh, I had something to do with that. Even though I do think that one was completely on Mogard. But hey, I still like to see it.
You got some classy characters in here. That's one of the things I love about this series.
Oh my, who's that off of pit road already? What was that? I'm guessing that had to have been a car that was involved in the accident. Or no, that was the car that wrecked down the back straightaway earlier. Oh, the 97! Oh, he doesn't beat him out. Bumgarner just about had the momentum. Very short run to the pit exit line for Groner, though. Groner able to get out first. Hold on to the race lead, and we're going to have a restart with probably 7 or so laps to go.
Now here comes a question. We haven't seen any of these guys prepare for the short run. You know, who made adjustments there? Who pumped up the pressures? Who dropped the tail end of the car down? And who did what for the short run here? And on top of it, you got the fact that people are going to be pushing a lot harder here.
It's definitely going to be. That's what I'm kind of looking forward to. They're all going to be pushing way, way harder than they pushed all night. I mean, there is no tire saving here. You got a 6 lap dash to the finish is what I think we're going to have. I mean, there's nothing there. You've just got to go balls to the wall every single lap and hope and pray that the car sticks through every corner.
Right now, also, you want to be looking for whoever gets a good run on the top line. That top middle line, that's going to be money here on this restart. Because there's not a whole lot you can do to defend on that bottom. Not on fresh tires, anyway.
I still feel like Philip Groner, obviously he controls this race, going to have the great jump from the restart. So he's feeling great, but man, it's always frustrating whenever you got a race one, just about 10 laps to go, and the caution flag flies, and you gotta win it all over again. Got to be frustrating for Philip Groner here.
The best thing for Groner right now, though, is he looks in his mirror and all he sees is black and gold, as far as the eye can see. That is the best thing for him right now. His teammates going to race you hard, but they're not going to dump you.
At least you expect they're not going to.
Hey, don't bring me back into this. It was Latimer's fault anyway.
Martinsville rings the bell.
Yeah, it was Latimer's damn fault anyway.
That's not how I remember it.
It's always Latimer's fault. You remember the week before at Indy when he destroyed all of us 4 races in a row? Going into turn 1? When we had that OP dominant monster.
I do remember that. I do remember that. That was a tough one. Hopefully Groner doesn't have just as tough of one here tonight. I would feel bad for him if he got teammated. If he got Sheldon Adkins, I'd be feeling pretty bad for Groner here.
Ouch. When's the last time you raced?
Sunday.
Mm-hmm. Tree falls in force, nobody can hear it.
I mean, it was a league race. So not quite the officials. So a little bit different. But we are going to have 6 laps to go on the restart, so not much time to make something happen. Can anybody make a move on Groner? I feel like Groner's going to get a good jump on the restart. Get at least get it clear into 1. Can anybody recover and make a move over the course of the last 6 laps?
I would definitely be looking at P2 Bumgarner if he can get through 1 and 2 without losing too much time here. I mean, he's been pretty stout all race long, but that's an obvious pick. So
we'll have to wait and see. Philip Groner, Michael Bumgarner on the front row. Pace car coming off. 6 laps to go this time by. Coming down to the restart zone, hopefully for the final time tonight. And Philip Groner stops back to the gas, and we are back under the green flag.
And a huge jump for Groner going down here to turn 1. Not much competition behind him. Got a great launch, great separation.
Bumgarner with an equally as good run, not letting Groner get away. Bumgarner committing a little bit higher on the racetrack than Groner. Groner with the middle, Bumgarner trying a later apex. Coming down the racetrack, loses a little bit of time, though, as the back end steps out side by side for third, though.
There's a shot to the rear bumper.
Sideways into the horn of the outside wall. Multiple drivers turned back across the field, collects another, and back into the outside wall, and we're back under the caution flag.
Oh, man, they got Pettis with that one.
Dylan Pettis involved. Is that Charles Grant?
Yes, it is. Grant crab walking down the back straightaway.
Is Pettis involved?
Yeah, Pettis is involved. He's killed.
Oh, yeah. It was a little bit further ahead.
Pettis, Grant. Hit up on Montgomery. He was in the start of that. Him and Pettis.
Montgomery got to the back of Pettis. Yeah.
And he got finished off, and it's nowhere to go for these guys. Kind of a self-cleaning racetrack. And as tight as these corners are on entry, there's no way that you can really get out of the way of trouble when it happens in front of you.
Feel bad for Pettis. He had a top 5 locked up before that first caution flag came out to give us that 6 lap to go restart. Now he's completely screwed. back in the 19th place position out of the race.
My jinx is
There's nothing more powerful.
We're batting 10 for 10 now or something. Next week I'm picking the pace car. Sound good, Boris?
Can you do that?
Picking.
I need a ruling. Throwing a challenge flag. Where are we at next week? I don't even know if that would be a good pick.
Nashville.
Super Speedway?
Super Speedway, baby.
Already?
Yeah.
Holy cow.
NBC's first week used to be Nashville, now it's Iowa. Or no, is it New
Nashville's-
Hampshire? I think it's New Hampshire. It's New
Yeah, I was
Hampshire.
about to say,
Never mind.
Nashville's not until the last week of June.
The next truck race is Nashville.
Gotcha.
I'm just dumb. The old man's been walking around the house talking about Nashville all week because he loves that track and the truck series.
It does put on a good show. I will be there for the cup race. Hopefully
yeah?
it's not 100 degrees this year, because it was last year and that was miserable.
That's a really fascinating track. I like it. It's a short track and a mile and a half rolling to one. It's
Yeah.
where Kentucky was supposed to be.
Yeah, Kentucky sucks. So bad.
Of course, if we were to take the Gen 7s there, it would probably be the best track on the circuit.
I don't know. It was still one lane. After the repave, it was so one lane. I don't know. I don't know if the next gens would be any good there.
Well, it doesn't help that they've ruined the Gen 6 when they got rid of the ride height rules. And everybody just sealed them all the way around the track.
Yeah, we need to get them off the racetrack. I agree with that.
Because that was what happened. Like, 2016 was one of like the best seasons when they went to the low downforce package. And 17 comes around, they're like, okay, no ride height requirements anymore. And then it was just absolutely dog terrible.
And then they gave us the 550 horsepower package.
Yep, which was same problem.
I mean, good God. What
Then
were
they
they
gave
thinking
us
with that one?
Then they gave us this cool, wonderful machine that makes me just pay attention to the Xfinity series now.
Well, still about a lap and a half left, and then we're going to get a green-white checkered finish. The green-white checkered, I think, lends itself to Groner. I think it just makes it where nobody's really going to have the time, unless he makes a big, big slip-up, which I don't think is going to happen. I think it's just going to be the Philip Groner show to the checkered flag.
Groner's just been absolutely calculated this entire race. I mean, heck, I think he's led every lap of this thing, hasn't he? Or did he catch the lead? It's been a lot of green flag running.
He started on the pole. I don't know if he has ever lost it. He might have been up front the entire race.
I believe so. Yeah, he has. Yeah, I think there.
Well, that's about as the most dominating performance you can have, huh?
Yeah,
I
he's
don't
got this
know. I
place
feel like-
unlocked.
Has there really not been a change for the lead? Wow.
No, there's been a change for second. Because it was Cruz that was running second at the start of it.
What a race from Philip Groner then. He has absolutely knocked it out of the park. Had a hell of a night. Looking to cap it off with a victory, but that would make it even more heartbreaking if it didn't work out.
Well, I like to see the fastest car get the thing done, so.
Could you imagine leading every single lap except for the last one?
I've done it before.
Oh,
Yeah.
that hurts.
The old bump and run at Nashville.
Well, we're going to see if it happens here at Iowa tonight between teammates, maybe. Philip Groner on the inside, Michael Bumgarner on the outside, green-white checker finish. Who's it going to be? Back to the gas. It's not going to be Bumgarner. He got a terrible jump. Cruz Cadell on the inside, though. Cycles through to second, all over the back bumper of Groner going to one.
Now, Cruz has been very aggressive on these short runs. The first couple laps after the restarts. Is he going to be able to get Groner? I mean, he's all over the bumper going down the back straightaway into 3.
He's close. Not close enough. Bumgarner throws it in there into 3 and 4. I don't know what he was really trying through there that time. It really throws Cruz Cadell off through the exit, and that's going to let Groner get away, and Bumgarner to the inside for second.
And now it's just a race for second. Oh, running tight. Bumgarner gets up in the side of Cruz Cadell coming out of turn 2. A little bit of contact. Cadell's in the wall.
Down the back straightaway for the final time, side by side for second. Bumgarner with a huge slider on Cadell. Cadell's going to try to cut him back, but right ahead of him, their teammate Philip Groner's going to come to the line.
Oh, we got
Cruz
wrecked.
Cadell goes spinning, and Groner's going to win the Ryco Performance Monday Night Top Split. Be open as they wreck down into turn number 1.
Huge wreck on the front straightaway here going into 1.
Cruz Cadell still comes through in the 3rd place spot. Robert Warrens, who was it Robert Warrens or somebody was wrecking across the line.
It was the 4 car that got into Cadell there. And kind of
Cruz Cadell went spinning. The 4 of Brandon, no, who in the world was it? Well, the Dustin Smith, the 16 is the one that went spinning, still finished in the 7th place spot. Probably should have been 4th for him, but
team burnout
just tracked up a little bit too high. As Philip Groner does his his burnouts here at the end of the race. We're going to take our final commercial break of the evening. Whenever we come back, if any of those Team Conti guys get into the Discord, we will give them an interview and see what they thought about their race. Philip Groner didn't really have much to see, so but if we get to talk to him, we'll get his thoughts anyway. Be sure to stay with us.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series in officially licensed cars engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Welcome back to the conclusion of tonight's Ryco Performance and Monday Night Top Split action, the Be Open race from the Iowa Speedway. We're going to run through our final race results real quick as we pop them onto your screen. Philip Groner, Michael Bumgarner, Cruz Cadell all finished on the top step of the podium. Philip Groner led every single lap of the race tonight. Look at that, 133 laps led. Everybody else with a big fat goose egg. Andrew Payne in the 4th place spot. Timmy Pacioli in 5th. Robert Warren 6th. Dustin Smith in the 7th place position with Michael Allard in 8th. Daryl Hahn in 9th. And Eddie Rose rounds out the top 10.
11th place with a really good drive through the field there at the end. Brandon Burkhart. 12th place is going to be Brandon Schmidt. Ricky Utting. Johnny Avila. came home 14th. Sean Rogers in 15th. You got Jared Mogard in 16th after that heartbreaking wreck he got midway through. Tyler Gunter in 17th, followed by Brandon Hawk in 18th. And, well, we got a little issue here, but 19th place is going to be Charles Grant Jr., and then rounding out your top 20 is going to be Dylan Pettis. Another
19th will actually be Dustin Montgomery. 22nd will be Chris Frost, and Blair Wick will be 23rd. I don't know why that's out of order, but hey, it is what it is. Either way, we could not get in touch with the top 3 podium finishers here tonight. Nonetheless, congratulations to Philip Groner and the Team Conti guys for their great performance here tonight in the Iowa Speedway. And well, Sheldon, what else you got to say for the Ryco Performance Monday Night Top Split action here on Iowa? Heartbreaking we couldn't see the A Open. What did you think about the B race?
Honestly, B race is pretty incredible. A lot of good racing throughout the field. A lot of comers and goers all the way through the race. And it's good to get us back to a track where tire wear matters. And it was really fun to watch this race and just the masterclass that Gruner put on with tire management here. You don't see domination like that often. It's good stuff.
You definitely don't. Philip Gruner was insane all night, and well, he put a big exclamation point on his victory here tonight. But that is going to do it here from us on GridVision for the Ryco Performance Monday Night Top Split. From the entire GridVision team, we'd like to thank you for watching and participating in the chat. For more information on getting your league broadcasted or starting your career in broadcasting, contact us on Facebook, X, or email us at info@gridvision.live. Congratulations to Philip Gruner once again on winning tonight's race from the Iowa Speedway. This has been Austin Edstrom standing alongside Sheldon Adkins and our producer, Taylor Burris. We will see you next time on The Grid.